when humans take physical form, they also take on the capacity to be deluded, because it's Maya, it's that illusion of physicality. What exists throughout the cosmos are the teachings for you to move beyond delusion. That's what a true mystery school provides.
House of the Bee Mystery School holds the teachings on healing, alchemy, magic. There are essentially 12 things that it holds, teachings that it holds, and they're like strands that are woven together, and that's a lineage that goes through time. So we can trace that back all the way back to the beginning of time, or to ancient Lemuria, and they'll come up when they're needed, and then they'll go down, and they usually will go down when a civilization is going down. So say, for instance, when Atlantis went down, then the mystery teachings withdrew. They'll withdraw into the mists, they'll go underground, and then they'll come back up when they're needed. So it's the same with this mystery school, or any mystery school, but we're only interested in this one because this is, the ultimate mystery teachings of the goddess.
The House of the Bee arose in this solar system in a previous cycle of activity, which was focused on the planet Venus. Bees were brought from the planet Venus to Earth, as were ants, as was corn, and these are very, very sacred things. So the House of the Bee precedes humanity's appearance on planet Earth. The mystery school, that's the House of the Bee, that was on Venus, actually came from somewhere else in the cosmos before that, and still exists somewhere else in the cosmos. So it's the mystery school that's woven through the entire cosmic structure. So, for example, if we went to System Sirius, you'd find the House of the Bee was there. So if we went to the star system Alpha Centauri, we would find that the House of the Bee was there. So it's the absolute ultimate cosmic reality. In the mystery schools, it's about training people and teaching people how to change the capacity of their nervous system to handle increasing frequencies of energy. That energy are light frequencies. So light isn't just one frequency, it has multiple frequencies. We're talking about metaphysical light as opposed to physical light. And the metaphysical light is symbolically represented by the white sun in the tarot key, the Fool. So the sun there is coloured white. It's not coloured yellow because it's a spiritual sun. It represents metaphysical frequencies of light. And you can see there's lots of rays coming out from that sun, which are telling you there's lots of frequencies of metaphysical light.
The Rite of the Six Moons up there in that third quadrant was 24 teacher plants that are with spiritual or stellar light. There are 3 groups of 8. In that program, we come out of the limitations of the solar system because we're coming up into stellar reality, spiritual reality. So we come out of the limitations of our solar system, which is 7 days a week, 7 main chakras. We're working with 8 chakras, 8 layers of the aura. So we're breaking out of the possibilities and realities of the solar system, coming back to our original self, our original spiritual self.
What's built into that training program is the person is working with nature to change the capacity biologically and in consciousness to handle increasingly higher and higher vibratory frequencies of light.
At an aura, chakra and DNA level.
DNA is light responsive, light absorbent. The DNA molecule is designed to be receptive to light, to take on board light, and to change itself in the context of the light that it is absorbing. Now, for most people, it's just photons that they get from food or that they breathe in or whatever else. But lightworker is consciously, intentionally working to keep increasing the frequencies of light that their DNA is absorbing. And what that does is it creates epigenetic changes in the DNA. Why do some people have phenomenal spiritual abilities and other people don't? Well, if you actually boil it all down, our genetics is what makes us what we are. So if you come across a highly enlightened being, their genetic makeup will be quite different from a person who has poorly developed spiritual awareness. DNA molecule is the energetic interface to the cosmos and cosmic awareness. All mystery schools from the beginning of time worked to change the epigenetic structure. That's why intertwined serpents and things like that were always symbolically indicative of DNA and spiritual awareness, because your epigenetic state of your DNA predetermines the degree of spiritual awareness you can have. So all spiritual development programs that are genuine programs are based on creating epigenetic changes in the DNA, but they have to be very, very specific. They can't be random. And there are ways of predetermining what those changes need to be and how you can make them.
We live in a world today where, you know, anybody can have anything whenever they like. Everything is on demand. But if we look at, there's a way, you know, there is a way to do things. There is a safe, structured way to do things that is timeless and universal and ageless.
Lustral rites of the lightworker, it's the means for purification by the powers of light, and someone who is dedicated to working with the powers of light for whatever reason. It could be for healing, could be for spiritual growth and development, could be for magical purposes. So lustration is purification. The powers of light by their very nature are purifying, in the context that when light enters a human, if the person can respond to it, it will produce order. If they react to it, it won't. It will act as a leaven within them to confront them with their shortcomings. Homo sapiens is about 85% of humanity. Homo sapiens is trapped in something called the collective consciousness or mass consciousness. It cannot think for itself. Each component of mass consciousness is influenced by every other component of mass consciousness. There's no individuation. You can't think for yourself. You can't act for yourself. It's like a shoal of fish. If you notice, when one fish moves, the whole shoal moves, because the shoal of fish is one consciousness. When one moves, they all move. They're all triggered by the same thing. It's because mass consciousness exists. We have to evolve beyond Homo. So Homo sapiens is called the original or the natural human. It's the beginning of the evolutionary racetrack or the evolutionary road. So that's the first iteration of the human. The next iteration or the next stage of development is Homo spiritualis. So that's the human who's spiritually seeking or wants to become spiritually aware. Homo sapiens is totally trapped in a three-dimensional personality-oriented world. But Homo spiritualis has become aware of a fourth dimension and a soul reality. So their consciousness is beginning to expand. What's happening in the world at the moment is we're transitioning from the dominance of Homo sapiens to the emergence of Homo spiritualis. So we're seeing very spiritual things, and there's a sort of this battle, the changeover. Now, beyond that, so when you reach a certain stage of awareness, soul consciousness, you can then move into Homo luminous. And this is the light-filled human. If you put it onto the medicine wheel, there's 4 quadrants in that, and there's a line that goes through the middle of a horizontal line. So the 2 bottom quadrants, 1 and 2, represent night, darkness. The line running through the center of the circle horizontally is the horizon, where the sun rises above the horizon and moves through the sky to the other horizon and sets. Once you get into quadrant 3, which is associated with the rite of the 6 moons, you're dealing with light. You're not dealing with darkness. It's about stellar realities, not terrestrial realities. Once you're getting into that quadrant, you're getting into a capacity to develop genuine spiritual powers and qualities. And that's really the first place on that wheel that you can do that.
For those who are serious about self-purification with high-frequency light, then I recommend the Medicine Woman Centre for Shamanic and Esoteric Studies Rite of 6 Moons online course. It's a self-purification and energetic detoxification process that's done using high-frequency energies in the form of specialised master teacher plant essences that can quite literally flood the person's consciousness with high-frequency spiritual light. And in so doing, facilitate that inner process of anchoring spiritual light into the being, the aura, the chakra, the DNA.
Visit www.medicinewoman.com to enroll now.